A quick little video of my Silicon Graphics Onyx machine. I know I have a few other videos online, but I get several complaints every week that there's no sound because my camera doesn't have a microphone in it, so I put music over the video. Well, I've chased down a camera with a microphone, so you can hear the awesome sound of this blower fan inside this machine. And we're going to show you a quick little tour of the machine itself. We'll start by opening up this wonderful hot purple door, and right at the very top here we have a nice little LCD panel. When the system is running, it shows processor load. It can also show voltages, temperature, the fan speed. You can use it to reboot the system, all sorts of things like that. It's called the system controller. There's nice little buttons here. Key switch. Not too many computers, you have to start with an ignition key. Here we have, these are hard drives. Easily slide out. A CD-ROM drive, 8mm tape drive, and digital audio tape drive. And down there just some blanks. Let's show you one of these drives here. You just slide the lever over, and the drive comes right out. So here we have, this is a Quantum Atlas 10K2. Excuse me. It's a 9GB hard drive, but far more exciting is the tray itself. There's two different buses. I have this machine set up for a single-ended bus and a differential bus, and this drive is single-ended, so plug it in there, power. Let me pull out an empty tray. Okay, so here we have an empty hard drive tray from an Onyx or a Challenge, or I guess several different machines use these. You can see we have the SCSI connector here, power connector. These two connectors are for activity light and the drive ID. And in the front we have a nice little doohickey which lets us set the SCSI ID of the device. Since this one is empty, it really doesn't matter at all, but we're going to take a look at the connector. Alright, so that's the hard drives out of the way. Let's see if I can get this door open with the camera rolling. Push these two little buttons here, one at the top, one at the bottom, and the whole door should just swing right open. Down here at the bottom, this is a monitor connector. I'm going to unscrew it and get it out of the way just because it's so ginormous. Seems to be a little stuck, but it is almost a 15-year-old machine. There we go. So this bottom panel, I'm going to get this Ethernet thing out of the way too. Bottom panel is for the main I/O board. I have parallel port interrupts, Ethernet, 422 serial, and a bunch of 232 serial ports. This is for the system console. This is the keyboard and mouse. It looks like a PS2 connector, but it isn't. Don't try and plug a PS2 keyboard into there because bad things will happen. I have absolutely no idea what this port is for, but I haven't needed it, so I'm not too concerned about it. This top bulkhead is for the graphics. We have various sinks. These are the two monitor outputs. If I had a display generator with 8 channels, then I would have 6 more monitor outputs, but I don't. Gen locks, This is your stereo connector swap. I have no idea what these swaps and Genlock things do, but it's there. S-video, composite video, composite video. In case you need to hook up a VCR, you can do that. These are all blanks for various options. There's Ethernet here. I don't have the actual Ethernet board, but the machine came with the connectors. Here's another external SCSI connector. And let's open her up. Okay, here we have the inside of the machine. This is the guts of a $500,000 MIPS supercomputer workstation from the 90s. So from left to right we have memory. We have 2 gigabytes of RAM. This is the CPU board. There's 4 MIPS R10000 processors on there. I'm not going to pull any of these boards out just because it's a pain in the butt to get back in. And I'll show stills of them. This is the main I/O board. This is what I was talking about earlier with the 2 SCSI buses. There's single-ended here and a differential here. You can change this, but it works fine as it is. There's some empty slots there for VME cards, and to the right we have the graphics. This is a display generator. I have 1 raster manager. This is a 16 megabyte one. They also have a 64 megabyte one. You can have up to 2 of these and a desk side system. You can have 4 in a rack, which is the great big giant Onyx. This is just the baby Onyx. And here we have the display generator, which outputs to your monitor. This cable here goes to the bulkhead in the front. So that's about it. So I can get this closed and plug back in again and we'll power her up. Alright, I think I've got everything put back together now, so we'll just make our way over to the back of the system. And oh, remember where I said about the keyboard and mouse that uses a custom connector? This is a nice little adapter. Here's a link to the guy that sells these, and it takes your SDI connection and you can plug in a PS2 keyboard and mouse to it. And that's all that is. And if you look here, I also have an Octane. That's this is the system I normally use, but it's not quite as fast, but it's a lot newer, a lot quieter, uses much less power. This Onyx system, it uses about, I haven't measured it, I'd say it uses about 1200 watts of juice. And of course, now that it's summertime, that's a little bit undesirable. And it's also very noisy. So the Octane is nice, quiet, smaller, but maybe some other time I'll talk about it.